Alright, as promised, here's my testimony. I'm going to keep this brief. Just in the gym, just finished a session. And it's been on my spirit to do this testimony for a while. I started the brochure page to spread the great news of YAHUAH. And I've done a couple of scripture readings. And then I really felt strongly on my spirit that, because that's how I believe the creator of the universe speaks to you. It's inside, in your spirit. It's not a physical voice, it's not a physical person that you're seeing. It's in your spirit, People say all the time, don't they? Just go with your gut instinct and all this sort of, I believe we have a spiritual, we are just in a fleshly body, but we are spiritual beings, we are created in the image of the Almighty and He is spirit. So ultimately, that's why it's so important to be in touch with your spiritual side. And it took me up until the age of 25 to get to a state of mind where I would consider anything of that nature. Before that, I was completely in the world and living a crazy life in terms of thinking that the way to success was to be a, quote, for lack of a better word, as the world calls it, a gangster. I was around people that considered themselves gangsters. I was involved in the criminal underworld, and I was up to some really naughty things, which we don't know to go into details about, but for those of you that know me well enough will know some of the stuff I've done, and basically that and, addiction, real bad on heavy Class A drugs. Cocaine got the better of me. I ended up bankrupt at the age of 23 years old for quite a significant amount of money, and it didn't stop there. Anyway, 25 comes, and I'd hit the gutter for, I can't remember how many times I hit the gutter during that, that course. I had multiple seizures, multiple overdoses, lots of crazy things, done some just wild stuff, as I'm sure many of you can relate. So anyway, found myself in the gutter yet again, all-time low. My head was just so lost. And I actually at the time just didn't want to be here anymore, that current state of mind had me having suicidal thoughts and all sorts of things. So, the enemy of my mind really had me tripping, He had me tripping. And I know a lot of people that have gone ahead and taken their own life. So just goes to show that the battle of the mind is real, and anyone who denies it is a fool. And the truth is not in them. So anyway, I came to this conclusion that there was a spiritual realm after I found myself on my knees crying, and just at the time didn't know any better, crying out, calling on God to help me. God, please help me, whatever, Anyway, started to consider the idea and the possibility of something in the spiritual realm. Although I'd never completely outright denied it, I just never really thought about it. You have to excuse me, my arms were really aching. Just had a big session in the gym, hit the bag, and holding this phone up is actually quite hard. Right, so I said I'd keep this brief. That's exactly what I want to do. I don't want to bang on about my past too much, but ultimately what happened at that stage was I had to evaluate the world that I lived in. I realised that over 90% of the world are spiritual people. They have some sort of spiritual belief. I ended up choosing the world's largest religion of Christianity as my chosen organised religion, and I followed that for approximately 4 to 5 years. The journey from then to now has been absolutely crazy, wild, and actually what I'm going to do, my arm's not aching so much, I will do more in-depth talk on this, but I do want to keep this brief, and I do want this to be a brief testimonial as to where I have came from to what I believe now, and why you should have a continual desire for the truth and never get complacent in anything that you think test everything, test the Creator. If you're going to have that faith, test Him, continue to have a continual desire of the truth, and you will be amazed what you can find out, if you do not ever get complacent and indoctrinated, shall we say, to believe a lie, like many people. Billions and billions and billions and millions and billions of people right now are in organised religion, and I can tell you from my experience that the truth is not in any of them. So, and I believe now, obviously this page is about spreading the great news of YAHUAH. The reason why I believe in YAHUAH is because it is a name that has been hidden. It is a name that not one government in the world and not one religion in the world organised religion or government believe in or promote in any way the name of Yahuwah. And in fact, they've done everything in their power to stop it being knowledge, because it is the key of knowledge. The name of Yahuwah is a name that wicked men have gone above and beyond to hide from humanity. So also it's written in the original earliest documents and scriptures and manuscripts, and that's what I'm going to believe. If my foundation of belief is going to be some sort of ancient text, if I believe that my ancestors left me some truth about the spiritual realm, and I'm going to go with the oldest, earliest originals in the earliest original language and see what they say and work forward, not the other way around like the majority of people are doing now, reading their modern day religious texts, etc. Anyway, the Beshurah. What is the Beshurah? The great news of Yahuwah. Now, many of you have probably heard the old story that a man called Jesus, came to the earth to save the world. Well, ultimately, I understand, and I can prove that a shadow of a doubt, that this is all just created by the Roman emperor. At the time, there was a Roman emperor called Emperor Constantine, and he created Christianity in 325 AD. You can research Constantine's Creed and 325 AD. You can research all that. The information is readily available. With any basic research, it becomes apparent that all forms of Christianity are heavily influenced in Greek, Latin, Judaism, Talmud, philosophical thought, and it becomes apparent that there's an awful lot of flaws in the organised religion that I definitely had believed with all my being at a point. I was going around, telling my friends, telling my family, to believe in God, to believe in JESUS. And then I had to admit, after I actually studied to show myself approved and continued to have a continual desire to the truth, but it didn't just happen like that, It wasn't a smooth process for me. After I believed that there could be some sort of higher power, and I started going about, claiming myself as a, quote, Christian, and going to a church and, calling myself a born-again believer in JC, like I'm sure many of you listening, considering that over 30% of the entire population of over 8 billion people believe in this mess. I'm sure many of you listening will be able to relate. But ultimately, what changed for me was through continuing to seek the Most High and wanting the truth. At points, that wasn't the case. At points from that 25 to how old was I when I found out about the name of the Most High, Yahuwah? Probably 29, I want to say. 29. So I was 29 years old, when I found out about the name of Yahuwah. Some people have known about the name Yahuwah for, my brother Jay. He's known about the name Yahuwah since 2007, and obviously it's always been there in these ancient texts, but just not readily available in any, quote, modern day religious book, such as the, quote, Bible or the Quran or any book in any organised religion. You have to really, really spend tens and tens and tens of thousands of pounds on resources and learn the original languages to be able to even access that. That goes to show how much you have to have a continual desire for the truth and how much commitment and dedication you have to have, right, to ultimately find out the truth. And fortunately, people have done that, Many people have done that. With the power of the internet, this information is now available. It just takes a little bit of research. So I encourage, just going to check I'm still recording yet. Just want to encourage everyone to head over to Promote the Truth and check out Promote the Truth. You will see this page shares a lot to do with Promote the Truth. That is because everyone in this community have all came on their own journey in some completely different life to mine. And some of them have incredible stories. I thought I'd been through a lot in my old, self. But some of these guys, their testimonies are just powerhouse. People that have been time serving generational after generation after generation in that organized religion, in that circus, you know, in the churches and in organized religion, or some of them have just come from all walks of life, all different walks of life. And I know that by us all being bold enough to share our testimonies, real testimonies, not based off indoctrination from organized religion, but our personal true experiences from continuing to seek the truth, and ultimately what stands the test of time. What, you know, when you test things in life, they're either going to turn out to be true or false, truth or lie. And I can tell you, through just having that strong desire to test everything, hallelujah, he will reveal himself to you, I promise you. And when you realize that the original earliest documents say that the name above all is YAHUAH, then I'm telling you, that will change your life, because it cannot be disproved. Okay, this is just facts, but it's been hidden. Why do you think it's been hidden? Hallelujah, YAHUAH. Go and find out for yourself. PromoteTheTruth.com. They've got on YouTube. They're on just about every social media platform that there is, you know. So you've got every opportunity to take heed to the words that I say. I'm not going to be the only one proclaiming this with boldness and confidence, you know, in what they're saying. And some of those people are going to inspire you, I'm telling you, on some next level. But anyway, my arm is about to drop off. I've really put in a good gym session today, and I will probably touch on some more deeper levels if I feel led to. You know, I'm just here doing this testimony because that's what Yahuwah told me to do. He told me to be a student of the word. And, you know, when he says to teach, I will teach. I will share scriptures. I will do. But at the same time, I'm only just come to the real word, his real true word. And I have only just found his name, as I said, in the last year. So, you know, it's something that, you know, there's people that are time spent, truth seekers, that have found his name, been serving him for a lot longer than me, and they ultimately are in a position to teach for a reason. And, you know, I just have to be obedient to what he's showing me. I reckon I'm rising every day. You know, I'm in this gym 6 days, 1 day rest, Shabbat. So I want as many people to get behind this and on this as possible, you know, as possible. And I see that a couple of you have been making the effort and doing, it's just great, it's inspiring. I just want to say thank you so much for giving your input, Kahul, to all the family, to the comments, the likes, the shares, the, you know, everything, just amazing. Let's keep it going. Let's keep Reckoning Rising as a family. And to those of you that are watching that obviously, you know who I am, which is many of you, Let's get this done. Let's get the testimonies out to the world. And let's tell them why the only resource for truth right now in the world, and the most important project in the world right now, is them true scriptures. And why the most important thing in the world, and the key of knowledge, is the name of Yahuwah. And why the best place to learn about Yahuwah, ultimately, let's be honest with ourselves, guys, promote the truth. Most of us came to the knowledge and the understanding that we have now through what our brother Jay has found out over the last 30 plus years of intense research. Although ultimately me and many of you have came to the name of Yahuwah without even knowing this man in the first place. You know, like myself, I came to the name of Yahuwah through my own research, and then I found someone who also knew about the name Yahuwah and who had been just so happened to take it to some next level. And then I've spent time with him, his family. I flew over to, you know, his country where he lives in Colombia, and spent personal time with him, hugging him every day. He's a very, very close brother of mine. I love him with all I've got, more than any man come out of his mother's womb. Do you know what I mean? There's no favourites. Obviously, the family is a family. But I've just got to check I'm still recording. I do respect this man with all I've got. He is my elder. He is an emissary of the Most High. He is on the front line. People want to kill him for what he knows. Do you understand? And all I can say is, wow, the joy that this man brings me to know how strong he is and how much he's willing to go after the truth with all he's got. And he ain't scared of anyone. He done there, got it. He was a professional athlete. He's been a very, 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 very successful businessman. I'm telling you, he's very he's not doing nothing for fame or money, because this man's been about people of serious levels. And I've seen the documents, I've seen the receipts. Like I say, he's very, very close to me. And I've got his back. And I ain't the only one, so people, a lot of the time they see someone share something or whatever. There's so much conspiracies and nonsense, propaganda, rubbish, foolishness, lies on the internet everywhere. So people have no trust in anything, And I don't blame people, because on my search for truth, there's so much nonsense out there, man. So you've got to have a continual desire for the truth to find it, And you're going to get a lot of nonsense. You're going to get a lot of false prophets and wolves in sheep's clothing and nonsense, basically. Because, if you believe in a good and evil, and you believe that the Most High is good, and if you ever heard the expression people battling with their demons, or if you believe in an evil spirit, shall we say, which I definitely do. I believe that he is our adversary. He is against us. He's not for us. And that evil spirit and that spiritual realm, them demons, you have to fight them. You have to battle them. And there's only one way to do that, to be true to yourself. I'm telling you. Be true to yourself. And many of you are going to be listening to this and be relating and know exactly what I'm saying, to be true, because in your spirit it's going to ring true to you. And if you're true with yourself, you'll find the truth. But don't get complacent. Don't stop. Keep looking to see. Test everything. And you'll come to the truth, I promise. Anyway, that's it. Hallelujah, YAHUAH. Let's go. Keep Rep and Rise, and head over to Rep and Rise if you're watching this and you're not following Rep and Rise. I'm going to be tagging the link in this testimony to Rep and Rise. So go ahead and like, share, follow, subscribe to Rep and Rise to see my day-to-day growth in the gym, and we'll be going in, as I say, more deep. Just do it. Just letting the set-apart spirit lead me. I'm not, I'm putting him first, me second, and everyone else who's on one accord, on the same level as me. So, because let others as you'd love yourself, and that's how it's got to be. And Yahuwah's working in me. Obviously, he's working in all of us. He's raised us all up in the way to go, and he's doing a work in me, a great work in me, and I'm letting him, because I love him. And I know that he's got my best interest, in his best interests and my best interests. So that's who I'm a follow, not the wicked one, not my adversary, who's the enemy of my mind, who can get me to do all sorts of madness. Understand? Am I still recording? Hallelujah. That's testimony done. Take care. Thanks for listening. Head over to Rep and Rise, and thanks for listening to Brashura. If you feel inspired, please share your testimony with the page. It's going to inspire so many people. Hallelujah. Let's go.